Y'all, and welcome to the Max Life. So, quick update. I know a lot of you guys are going to ask about Jennings. He has made a full recovery for the past couple of days. He has been running from one end of the property to the other, back up 100%. Livy sounds better, Colby sounds better. The rest of us have stayed well. So, very thankful for that. Now, you hear the moving in the background. Yes, we are still dealing with the steer. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to show y'all the run that Colby and Aiden, I kind of told them my vision of idea of what I thought would probably make the most sense. And since he is not going to load, just putting pressure on in the back and just like a little small catch pen, he's just not going to do that. So we had to really roll up our sleeves and make things happen, which means all the horse panels from the other side of the property had to be taken apart and brought down here to this run, which we're just gonna walk over to. I've been taking him with a 5-gallon bucket of feed every day over to the area and dumping it and letting him eat, mainly to get used to that area. I think there were a number of things that were probably against us. This is actually a very docile breed of cows. Herefords are known to be a little bit more shy and timidish. They're not aggressive cows, and I think that he was scared to death. Firstly, we had moved him out of his normal herd. Second, we put him in a field by himself. And third, he was in a small area by himself that he's never been in, and we were trying to put pressure on him to go into a trailer. So a couple of things that we did not have going for us, and I think this is really going to work much better. He has been over here in this field for several days now. I have been the one bringing him a bucket of food every single day, pretty much since we realized he's not going to want to load up real easy. So y'all see that, I mean, very easily they follow buckets of feed, so that's not the problem. I think that he was very scared and didn't know where he was at or what he was doing, but he's kind of getting the hang of it now. And I'm carrying his food over to where I've been feeding him. Now, I did do something a little bit different today. Since they have those panels, you see the horse panels that are put up over there, going all the way basically to the trailer. I did slide his bucket of food up a little bit more in the run. I started him off just really right here under this tree. Right here, just right here in this area. Right here. I started feeding him right here. Then I started moving his bucket up some. And y'all, he is pretty smart. He would stick his head under this fence. He didn't want to come around these panels. Those are the metal panels that he bent. So he does not like those panels. He associates them, or those first couple of days he was associating them with knowing that's where we were trying to load him. So then I've been slowly moving it up. Yesterday we had to go out of town, so I was not able to leave that gate open. I really wanted to try to get him started going in that run yesterday, but we weren't going to be home, so I thought that's probably not a good idea. But today I'm going to be home, so I just popped that blue gate open. I'm just going to go up into that run some with his feed, so that when we do get ready to get him in those horse panels, he will be somewhat used to walking up in there, and it won't be anything new to him. We are going to be able to put some boards behind him, and I do have a cow pride. So if worst case scenario and we need to give him an extra boost to go forward, I do have that now. I hope that we do not have to use it. I hope that just by him realizing, okay, I'm not going backwards, the only way I can go is forward. I'm hoping that, and him being a little bit more familiar with this area, I'm hoping all that's going to play into our benefit. I've really tried to think this through, so we'll see. So I'm out here today just trying to get him in the run a little bit more, because he is just very skittish. So I don't know if you guys saw me walk around. I didn't want to try to squeeze out beside him. I didn't want him to get spooked. So you see that the plan is just taking a little bit of time to work. But once we get him in there, we can start shutting some of these other gates off. So tomorrow, I plan to go up a little bit further with him and get him in those really heavy duty panels up here. But you see that as he gets a little bit more familiar, it'll be a little bit easier to work him up closer. And once we get him in those really heavy duty horse panels, in between each section are really thick poles, and we will be able to slide a couple of 2x4s, one in the top, one in the middle, and one in the bottom, just so he can't back up. And then he will literally be just a couple of steps away from the trailer. So, and he won't have but one direction to go. I think that just by realizing that he was very scared, very timid, it just took a little bit of extra time and work. You know, like I said, usually they follow the bucket of feed. We can put some pressure on them from behind and they load right up. But this little guy was extra scared. I don't think that he was wanting to hurt us by any means. I just think that he was scared, you know, skittish and scared. And he's a pretty good little size steer. And when he starts putting dents in some of the metal that we have, you know, I told Colby I really felt like the best option was to beef that up some more, to get our cow panels, our horse panels, and bring down here, just to make sure that we don't put ourselves in a situation where we get hurt. Okay, so one other thing I want to do while I'm on the side of the yard is over in my greenhouse. Y'all can see that I have a jacket on today. We were actually sweating yesterday. Welcome to the crazy world of wild weather. But I have some sweet potato slips. These are ones that have literally grown right out of the kitchen. You guys have heard me talk about never having to buy sweet potatoes again. This is the way we do it. It is actually much too cold to plant them in the ground right now. But this just kind of allows me to get one step ahead, because these vines will start growing. And as these vines start to grow, we will be able to harvest some of those vines, pretty much root them the same way, and take them straight to the ground to plant. So basically, these little sprouts are gonna start growing and produce long runners. I can take those sprouts pretty much anywhere and cut them, put them in the ground, keep it really, really moist. They are going to root, start growing sweet potatoes, and it really is just kind of like getting a jump start on growing. So I can't put these in the ground yet. I'm going to put them in the greenhouse, let them start growing and taking root. They will put off some of the prettiest vines. I can take those vines literally right after the last frost, put them in the ground. They are going to start rooting and start growing sweet potatoes. Now, I've told y'all before that they're not just going to take off. They won't take off right now because it's not warm enough for them to grow well. They will survive and they will grow well on warm days. But when it starts to get cool again, it kind of like stops them from growing. But then on all the warm days that they're there, they're growing. And I want to show y'all this while we're talking. The bed literally right behind me, I'm fixing to show you guys some sweet potatoes that were left here over the winter. I wanted to leave them here to see what happens. I took all the vines off the top right when it got really, really cold. I left the sweet potatoes in the dirt, and I'm gonna dig up a couple and show y'all those sweet potatoes. So right here in my bed, I took it was probably closer towards the end of summer, which is not really ideal for growing sweet potatoes at that point in time, because they really don't have enough days to be in the ground to mature out. But I knew we would have weather on and off, warm and cold. So I went ahead and just put some in the ground anyway to grow. I knew that I would get some little sweet potatoes started. Actually, I think most of them are down there. Nope, here's one right here. But if I even leave just this little sweet potato in this bed, obviously you see that it's been nibbled on, but it's still fine nonetheless. There's a little root right there. All of this will start putting off vines as well. Those vines will again root and grow more sweet potatoes. It's almost like a vicious cycle that you can't control when you're talking about sweet potatoes. And even though they're small, that little sweet potato will give me enough vine to take root and grow more sweet potatoes. So here's another one. Again, same scenario. I'm just gonna leave it in the dirt. They're gonna grow off the vines. The vines are gonna take root. We're gonna grow more sweet potatoes. So you could say that right now, I currently have 2 forms of vines, actually 3 forms of vines growing off for sweet potatoes. I've got them growing directly on my potatoes that I'm taking off, rooting, and planting in the greenhouse for vines. Then I have little potatoes that have left in the ground that will also root and grow off vines. So that is the coolest thing about growing sweet potatoes, is that it is a cycle that once you learn how to cure out your potato, you literally never have to buy sweet potatoes again. Y'all, I have tons of videos on sweet potatoes and how easy they are to grow, especially if you're in zone 8B. Don't miss your chance of growing a very, very healthy food that is so easy and that will keep giving and keep giving and keep giving, and you almost can't mess it up. I want to go in the greenhouse now. I want to show you guys a couple of things. Y'all heard me say that I had dropped a tomato down in the bucket. Well, those sprouted, and I have dug them up and kind of transferred them over into little cups. Walked in here to check on them. No, not all of them is going to make it. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that look really good. Probably 2 just need water. I also, where the cold come in and really took out some of my lettuce, I have dug all that up and replanted lettuce as well. I also have my banana trees that are in here. I did go ahead and buy a different variety. I'm not sure if this one is going to make it, and I did lose one of the other, but other than that, they have grown probably about a ½ inch since they've been in the greenhouse. So that's good. And then I bought this brand. It's a dwarf. It is a dwarf variety. And we'll see how they do. So y'all, I'm going to water the couple of things in here that needs to be watered today. I'm going to plant my sweet potatoes in just it's a regular bucket of dirt, give them a little shoot of water. Then we've got to go up and check on I got some pig situations going on. Larry the lamb, the kids named the little lamb Larry. I'm going to check on him and mama again today. Just make sure all the animals are doing okay as well. Okay, y'all, I have some asparagus going up. I went and gathered a bucket. I got a pretty good, for it to not be asparagus season yet, I got a pretty good harvest of asparagus. I had some lettuce and some old leaves up in this bed that needed to be cleaned up along with the greenhouse. So I have a bucket of basically snacks for the chickens. I went ahead and pulled all the tarp off of the peppers that I had covered up. Y'all, they did absolutely not survive the 20 weather. Sadly, I was hoping that if I could get enough ground cover on them that they would at least make it through that, but they did not. So we're up to, what are we going to check on, Libby? Your little lamb. What did you name the little lamb?
Donald.
Donald? I thought y'all named him Larry the lamb. But we already have a lamb named Donald. Okay. Okay. So we're going to head up there and check on the animals. The steer, y'all, he'd come out in the field, but he's back over there kind of in that area where we need him to be. So Maybe this will make it a little bit easier. I don't know. But I also have a surprise for y'all that I'm going to show you. But it is on the other side of the property, and we're about to head that way right now. So Lamb and the mama that we weaned are still over here, and they're doing great. Y'all, the American Guinea hog that wouldn't get up and walk finally got up and walk. It took probably 2 full days of me coming up here, pouring water in her mouth. I honestly don't think she was hurt. I honestly think she was doing more of protesting than she was hurt. She didn't want to get up because she didn't like the male. But I did see them laying beside each other a couple of days ago, so that's a good sign that they're becoming closer friends. But she is, of course, you can see up out of her spot that she was in way down there where the hay is at. But she was not a fan of the male, and I honestly think that she was protesting being in the field. Well, she might have been hurt, but she wouldn't get up, and she lay there for days and days and days, and then all of a sudden she got up and started moving around. So I've seen her everywhere from over here to over there, and I honestly think it was Amora. She was mad. She was in the field and she was not going to get up and let him come anywhere near her. So that's that. Good. I'm glad that she's up and moving and okay, and we don't have to worry about losing an animal. So that is a good sign. I'm going to go ahead and give the chickens their snacks from cleaning up around the beds and grab the eggs while we're down here at the chicken barn. Down a little bit further, we're saving the best for last, so I'm going to show y'all where we're headed. We were a little caught off guard with the surprise, but
oh yeah. See, I found a new bag. Oh my goodness, Mom, if you get out, I'm going to play with you. Get out. Hey, get out. Let's go. Look at this little guy. Get mud on him. That's okay.
we don't want them to come out this way. Okay, so we had a little bit of surprise with the piglets. We let our boar, which he is way down there, we let him out. So I know this mama, and I don't even see Ginger. I don't even see her. We let him breed, her and our other mama. And so we know that they're due in about the next week to 2 weeks. However, the littler mama, she has a spot down there in between the fence that she and some of the other little piglets started a hole and worked, and they were going back and forth, back and forth. Well, she got herself bred. She's a lot younger than our other mamas, so we were actually not expecting her. We were thinking that she was probably going to have them after the mama has this set of pigs. We were thinking she will probably have babies within a month or 2 after them. Well, she had babies before them, and I know it was because she was going under that fence over there, going in that side with the boar, and he got her. So our other mama, there's one. I just don't see Ginger. I don't know where she's at.
Really? Come on.
But she she and Oreo are going to be due very, very soon. And that means we're going to have lots of little piglets running around, but that did catch us off guard. We were actually over here planting some fruit trees along the fence line where American Guinea hogs are, and we saw little piglets running around, and we were like, okay, were we off on our date? So then we realized it was the smaller pig, and she was able to fit through. Okay, I see Ginger. She's actually on the other side, but I do need to go check on her to make sure she has not had piglets, because I was thinking within the next week or two, but she is way back there and not coming over here. So I'm gonna ride back there and just make sure she has not had piglets. But yeah, the other mom that was going under the fence, she got bred a little bit quicker than we thought. We actually didn't think that she was gonna go into heat for another probably month or so. So she is a very young mom, but so far she has done a really good job with her piglets. The only thing is she doesn't stay as close to them as I would like. Like I wonder if she's back over here now. So like her little piglets just running around everywhere, and I see that it's cold, and it's like, okay, where's the mom? Usually the moms stay right with them, but I don't know where she's at. Oh yeah, there she is. She's over here. That was the only thing we noticed a couple of times, is that she would be like on the other side of the pasture and her piglets would be over here in the hay, and we were like, what is she doing? She needs to kind of stay with them. But you know, they'll grow up and they'll get a little bit bigger and they'll learn the layout, and it'll be fine. My biggest concern right now is there's really no way to move them in the barn yet because of the step up into the area, and they're so little they can't get in there and we can't touch the babies. So with that being said, my only worry is that they can fit through this hole, and if they get out, they have to find a way to get back in. And they're smart, but sometimes they make you question a little bit, like that one that's over there way away from its mom. Like, what are you doing? Why are you not over here with your mama? She's literally fixing to lay down and let them nurse. So that's my biggest concern, is they can fit through that. And we have had some get off in the field and get in the woods and get lost because the moms delivered before we could get them in the barn. So we were hoping to avoid that this time and get the moms in the barn, but she caught us completely off guard. So far they've done okay. We're just gonna cross our fingers and hope for the best. And she's been a pretty good mom so far. I'm surprised she's not calling the baby, but you know, we'll see. So far they've done okay. Guys, I hope you enjoyed spending the afternoon with us on the farm with the little surprise at the end. Little piglets are always so cute. That is all for today. Thank you guys for watching. As always, we appreciate you supporting our channel. Thank you for the comments, the thumbs up, the emails that you give to us. God bless and happy homesteading, y'all.